We present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin and your chairman is Humphrey Lyttelton.
Hello and welcome to what is in fact the last edition of the present series. But what's particularly sad for me is that there'll be another one in a few months. So unfortunately not for the last time, would you welcome please Tim Brooke-Taylor and Willie Rushton on my right. And Barry Cryer and Graeme on my left. We're going to start teams with a round called Signature Tunes. In this round I'll be asking you to suggest signature tunes for public figures, and I'll award points for suitability and tastelessness in reverse order. So who will we start with? This week we'll start with Tim Brooke-Taylor.
Sir Geoffrey Howe, I thought. You may think it's inappropriate, but there's no business like show business. It sprang to my lips. But actually, with the government cutbacks, it's now become, there's no business.
He also sings, You'll Never Know Just How Much.
Right, we'll go to you, Barry Cryer, because it's your turn.
Elizabeth Taylor springs to mind as a candidate. Love is lovelier the seventh time around.
Why not?
There was an applause there.
Or again, why? Willie Rushton.
There's one they sing around the cabinet whenever they shower him with money, which is, he's delightful, he's the lovely, he's DeLorean.
Graeme.
Yes, I thought possibly for Margaret Thatcher. She could have a theme tune. To everything, turn, turn, turn.
Tim, do you have any?
Well, the Labour Party, Tony Benn, I thought could have My Way. And Michael Foot could sing, It's My Party and I'll cry if I want
to. Warren Beatty, or Beatty. I think he's very underrated. Or rated. He could have Night and Day, You Are the One.
Ray Buckton has been heard to sing, If I Work to Rule.
Freddie Laker, I Who Have Nothing But Not For Long.
Tiny Rowland is known for humming, Money makes the world go around, the world go around.
Another one for Margaret Thatcher, I may be wrong, but I think I'm wonderful.
Any more from you, Willie?
No. Unless you've got any suggestions, Humphrey?
No, I haven't, other than that we go on quickly to the point where I tell the teams that at the end of the programme they'll be introducing the late arrivals at the Builders' Ball. The Builders' Ball.
They'll be around on Monday.
Let's play a game called Call My Bluff, which is familiar to those of you who've seen will be familiar to those of you who've seen the television program of the same name. The teams are going to give me 4 different definitions of a word, and I have to guess which one is correct. And then they'll tell me, of course, if it's true or a bluff. Right, teams. The word coming up now is diameter. Diameter. And who wants to start?
The person in the third row.
I'm quite happy to start, Humphrey.
Start with you, Willie.
Because I'm a goody-goody.
Sir Graeme and I.
No, just a goody.
Bill Oddie Cheek.
Diameter. It is actually pronounced diameter. On the dark continent, as you may know, they had certain cannibalistic tendencies, and as a bon bouche of an evening was to give them the right or the left arm of the evening meal. And so you would have diameter.
Okay, what about you, Graeme Gardner?
Well, a diameter is not naturally one who diamets. The derivation of this goes back quite a long way, but not all that far. Dashiell Hammett was a writer of tough detective stories like The Maltese Falcon, and what's not generally known is that he had a Welsh brother, Di Hammett, who wrote similar stories with a sort of Welsh slant, like The Mumbles Falcon. And he wrote many Chandler-esque works, such as The Big Leak, The Heidi-High Window, Farewell, My Slavetli. So that's Diamet. And now anyone writing Welsh detective stories is known as a diameter.
Well, the audience certainly thinks that one's correct. So we'll have to go to you now. Have we been to you, Tim? No, we haven't.
Feels like it. Yes, diameter. In fact, it's a phrase that we in the theatrical profession use. When you're a professional, you wouldn't know this if you weren't in the profession. It's the phrase OTT, over the top. It's acting over the top. If, for example, the king is dying, he will go, "Ah, I die, but list," and you know how they roll around the floor. OTT. It's what we call diameter, as opposed to professional.
Barry Cryer.
This is, it's the pronunciation has changed over the years. It's from France, but it's not French. It's diameter. Diameter, brought back by English tourists who'd watched snail racing in France. They were attracted by the sound of French crowds singing "Escargot, escargot." They're toddling along. They found themselves by this big mown circle of grass, a metre across, which had been done by a massive lawnmower, the coup de grace. And there was snail racing across this circle. The tragic story, of course, well known to everybody, bears repeating of the little French snail training early in the morning, singing to himself, "Chanson d'amour," and the lawnmower went rap-a-pap-a-pap. And if a snail goes up your trouser leg, it's 3 weeks before you go, "Oh, now." But enough of that. It's usually held in the evening. You watch the red snails in the sunset, and it takes a snail a day to go across this circle. A day a metre. That was the expression brought back by English tourists.
That's enough. Right. Well, now, let's see what we have here. We have a cannibal delicacy from Willie Rushton. Not terribly convincing, but Graham Garden's now, the people who emulate an unknown Welsh novelist. I think that was a bit far-fetched. Tim, I must say, did some very good acting in it. Didn't you think he did some good acting in it?
No.
The audience didn't.
No.
But, a sort of overacted deathbed scene. And I must confess, it was Barry's. I rather lost the thread, except that I gathered at the end that it was something that's usually held in the evening. I think... I'm trying to sound as though it matters to me.
It matters to us, huh?
All right, then.
And our listener.
I think nobody could have made such a public fool of themselves except in the service of the truth. So I'm going for your definition, Tim, Brooke-Taylor.
Correct.
It's not, I'm not meant to say correct. Is it true or a bluff? The word correct can come into it.
Oh. Who'd have thought it?
Well, that's true. So let's see now who had the bluff. Graham Garden. How amazing. I lost that one. Right. We're going on to play, for the last time in this series, that ever-popular game, Mornington Crescent. Now, I have to tell you that every week after we play this game, we have letters from listeners telling us what moves the teams should have made. And in fact, it's quite obvious to us that you at home are way ahead of our teams most of the time, and especially when we're playing Mornington Crescent. So let's try an experiment now in thought transference. Seriously. I want those of you who take part in this game at home now to sit down in front of your radio sets. Now stare at the set fixedly, and as we play this game, when you think that you know the move that will lead inexorably to Mornington Crescent, see if you can concentrate on it to the extent that you will the correct answer from the members of the team. Having done so, and listening to the game, if you find that in fact you were right and the team's answer coincides with yours, write us a letter and we'll collect them all together and forward them to the WPB. Right, now, no special rules in this one, so let's start with you, Willie Rushton.
I'm not getting any messages, but my microphone is bent. Oh!
I wish you could see it, listeners.
My word! I've never been in the Bovington area. Cromwell Road.
Oh. There's thinking going on at home, and I'm getting Baron's Court.
Very painful, I should think.
But I don't. No. I think that's a naughty sprite on the wavelength. I won't go for Baron's Court. I'll go for Oxford Circus. Horn Lane. Horn Lane.
If that's a Mrs. Jenkins in Bovington, tell her to get off the line. I'm hers.
I've got a minicab driver.
Private life is your own.
Can I incidentally interrupt? Can I interrupt and ask those of you who are cooperating at home to send your messages through a little bit quicker? Barry Cryer.
I'm getting vibrations, but I'm at a funny age. I'm getting
It still doesn't know.
Walgrave Road.
Has anyone here got an Uncle Charlie who died recently? In Egham High Street. That must be the clue.
Egham High Street.
Yes.
I'm getting a Red Indian guide coming through now. It says I should have gone for Baron's Court in the first place. So I'll take Baron's Court now. Baron's Court.
Mornington Crescent.
What do bloody Red Indians know anyway?
Well, despite a certain amount of frivolity, we did play that game seriously, and it was Tim Brooke-Taylor who eventually made the right move, I think. We go on to a new game called Tying a Tie. And if you want to join in with this one at home, will you please get hold of a tie now? Got it? Right. For this round, I'm going to ask Willie Rushton to give the others instructions on how to tie a tie. And they will simply follow the instructions.
Great.
And Willie, I'll dock you 1 mark for every pupil who does himself a personal injury. So will you start now? Teams, you've got
If
your
you
ties
could
ready?
move your chairs back about 6 inches from the desk.
Is this the listener?
Take,
All right. Oh.
that's you. Take the fat end of the tie in your right hand. Rest your foreheads on the desk. Throw the fat end of the tie over the nape of your neck. Rise slowly. Grasp fat end in left hand. Grab thin end in right hand.
Of the tie?
Of the tie. Place your hands together. Lower down, Tim. Down a bit, left hand down a bit, 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 down a bit. Right. Put fat end now of tie in right hand and thin end in left hand. Go on, it worked. Now you just tie the tie.
Right, well, I
Tie
forgot
the
to tell you.
tie.
I forgot to tell you at the beginning, teams. There was a time limit on that, and it's up. So we have now. I'm going to open it up to the. I'm going to get the studio audience here, and those of you listening at home, to judge who so far has tied the best tie.
They're well on the
First
way.
of all, will you give your applause or otherwise for Barry Cryer? Right, Graeme. How about Graeme Garden? And finally, Tim Brooke-Taylor. The only one who's tied a tie immaculately, which fortunately enables us to hurry along to the next game, which is the ad-lib poem. I'm going to give someone the first line of a poem, and they continue until I buzz them. It sounds like that. And the next person then continues and takes the poem until we reach an artistic conclusion, or until the show comes off the air, which is quite short. Here's the opening line. I wandered lonely as a man who lacks in bodily hygiene. And I want you to carry that one on. You look optimistic. Barry Cry.
I wandered lonely as a man who lacks in bodily hygiene. I wandered over hill and dale until I tattered my jean. One leg had caught upon a fence, and showing through therein.
Willie, unfortunately.
What rhymes with therein? They began to look like the sort of trousers an untidy man might be wearing. How this fits my mood, I said to myself, as along I slowly stank. It's poetry! My license is up.
Along I slowly stank, till I came...
Have a care, Graeme.
Yes.
As long as he just has a care.
Thanks, partner. Until I came to a lonely wood. 'Twas deep and dark and dank. And as I plunged into the wood, a strange sight I espied. It was the ghost of Nicholas Parsons going out for a ride. As he rode past, upon that furious ghostly horse he rode.
Being an unhygienic man, I immediately shed my load. Well, wouldn't you, dear listeners, true? When seeing Nicky there, riding on the horse's back, and the back, it was bare. For he likes to ride his steed across the rolling plains.
I thought I'll join in on this game, so I removed my James. It doesn't make sense if you think about it. Taking my jeans off there, I was joining the Nicholas Parsons. A finish beyond compare.
And Barry Cryer awards himself full marks for that, which puts him in the lead. And we go on to play the game just a minute. This is a musical round in which the team members attempt to sing a song for a minute without hesitation, repetition or deviation. And we're going to start with you, as you did so well in that last round, Tim Brooke-Taylor. Try and sing without repetition, hesitation or deviation. Rock around the clock, Tim.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 in the afternoon, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8.
Challenge from Graeme Garden.
Repetition of a clock.
It's in the title.
In the title.
It is, yes.
Oh,
in
still repeated it. Rock around the o'clock is the title of this one, isn't it?
I see. Right, the Irish version.
So, anyway.
3, 5, 9 o'clock, 8.
Okay, Graeme, you can take up the song now, and you have only a quarter of an hour in which to finish it.
8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock.
Challenge there from Willie
Numerous
Rushton.
repetitions, I thought, of O'Clock Rock.
It's in the title, he says.
Yes, we've already established.
Repetition of the same boring argument.
Yes, I'll accept that. Willie Rushton, take up the song from there.
We're going to boulder in the environs of the grandfather tonight. Rest on, join me, hon. We'll have some fun when the thing strikes one.
Challenge from Barry Cryer.
No.
No, it was I.
No.
Repetition of 1.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Earlier on, yes. How interesting.
Word of the song.
Yes.
Ah. Or is that allowed too in this game, Hump? The first word of the song.
I wasn't listening. I was wondering why you stole Barry Crow's challenge.
No, I didn't buzz, Hump. I was throwing my buzz. It's ventriloquism, you know.
It's personal hygiene, in my case.
Dear, who threw that buzz?
Carry on, Barry Crow.
Well, we're going to veliter around the Orloge tonight. We're about to waltz jig green.
Challenge from Tim Brooke-Taylor.
Hesitation on tonight. I mean, not hesitation, repetition.
Did I say tonight, right? Did I, audience?
You didn't, but the song did. I mean...
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be the same person repeating, does it?
It doesn't really have to be the same program. Will you... Will you carry on, Tim Brooke-Taylor?
Very difficult. Very difficult to sing with this tie tightened around.
You have 2 seconds to finish.
We're going around like that.
And with Colin in the lead, we go on to the late arrival. The teams are going to introduce the late arrival to the Builders' Ball. Builders' Ball.
Repetition.
Right, will you carry on then, Willie?
Deviation, Hump. You're wearing a dress.
Right, let's hear the later...
Hesitation. He wasn't quite sure whether to wear it or not.
Let's hear your late arrivals at the Builders' Ball, and no further interruptions.
Pray welcome the detached family with their son Sammy, a strange youth, 2 up, 2 down.
Standing there like a spare brick at a building.
Mr. and Mrs. Dingsight and their son Bill Dingsight and his sleepy bulldozer.
Very welcome, please. Mr. and Mrs. Paper and their son Wallpaper. His brother Lou. And all the way from Ireland, Mr. and Mrs. O'Dors and their daughter Patty O'Dors. Oh, coming here are Mr. and Mrs. Bilt and their son Jerry.
Mr. and Mrs. Nett and their daughter Maisie.
And her Dutch friend Wim P. Estate. And his friend Hertz Van Rentel, who's nothing to do with this ball, I don't know. Let's welcome a guest.
Here comes the family in a chopper with their son. Why Patrick Allen in a chopper? Just crashed a tree.
Cabaret tonight is boxing with Harry Carpenter and Reg Guttering. Sponsored by the Nationwide Building Society with Bob Dwellings and Hugh Scullery.
As you know, this ball is in aid of the Prince of Wales' new house. Oh, he looks frozen over there, so now we've got the blueprints of the building.
Oh, the Nolan sisters, what a block of flats.
I would like to disassociate myself from that remark.
More than balanced up by the entry of Gazebo Derrick. Who's got a bow front, anyway.
Mr. and Mrs. House be ready on time and their naive daughter, will my house be ready on time?
I'm getting spirit messages from an earlier round. Good heavens, what are these emanations in the ballroom? Clark Gable, Yves Saint Laurent and George Rafter. And Eve hasn't left us yet, but that's neither here nor there. As the man said when he put his truss on upside down.
Really welcome, please. Mr. and Mrs. King Good and their daughter.
This point, ladies and gentlemen, is...
And their daughter. Their lovely daughter, May King Good.
And her anti-climax.
Over there, will you welcome, please, Mr. and Mrs. J and their daughter, Iris J. There's Freddie Mixed Concrete.
There's Ben Touse, he's rather sweet. Talking to Ruth Harris and Jim Nepot.
Mr. and Mrs. Stouse and their son Terry Stouse.
Also, will you please welcome, they've come a very long way, Mr. and Mrs. Babel and their enormous daughter, Tara Babel.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the point.
And no builder's conglomeration would be complete without the family Sconacostiu. And their daughter, Cora Sconacostiu.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this point I have to tell you that the teams are all about to go off on their well-earned rest between series. That's all except for Willie Rushton, who left 10 minutes ago. We look forward to being with you again. Until then, goodbye.
Barry Cryer, Graeme Garden, Tim Brooke-Taylor and Willie Rushton were being given Silly Things to Do by Humphrey Lyttelton, with Colin setting some of them to music. The programme was produced by Paul Mayhew-Archer.
Next week at this time, that's 6:30 next Monday, Spring Bank Holiday Monday, we go from the ridiculous to the sublime.